Someone's having fun. I hear that. Vroom vroom, friend. Don't worry, I'm making a vroom vroom talk too. Oh, here he comes. You ready? Oh, he gonna be loud. He's a big boy. He do big boy thing. Let's hit it. So, I did a thing. Bought a second motorcycle today. And you know what? I don't regret it yet. For those who don't know me, I am Sarah and I learned to ride a motorcycle this year. The goal of this series is to show you what it's like to buy, maintain, repair, and ride older motorcycles. I do have an engineering background, but I don't have a big background in motorcycles. I'm sure you'll meet the Samosa to my mimosa who is going to mentor me through a lot of problems, I think. But my goal is to complete as much that I can myself on this motorcycle build and explain to you what I learned along the way. In April, I sat on my first motorcycle ever. By the beginning of May, I purchased my first motorcycle and had my own endorsement. And today I have almost 1,000 miles on my first bike, and I've already purchased my second one. So this is Rushmi. She's my good old, oh, there's a bee. This is Rushmi. She's my old reliable. She's getting me to the first 1,000 miles. I'm very excited about her. She's my favorite chrome, red, gorgeous, beautiful. She's also a Royal Enfield Classic 350. Model year is 2023, and I love her. She's my baby. It's wonderful. I'll never get rid of her. However, I'm a little bit of a tinkerer. I have been looking for a little project to get started before the winter, maybe take it on a little fall trip, get some ride on it, and then sell it, get a different project. That will never be Rushmi, but I'm here to introduce you to what I'm calling Hari, because it kind of sounds like green and Indian, and if you don't know, Royal Enfield is an Indian brand, and I love their style. I think that I'm a little bit more vintage when it comes to my automobiles, including my motorcycles. Anyway, so what is the point of this video, of this channel, of this whole YouTube thing anyway, right? Not only do I want to capture my general rides that will be in like short formats, but like I said, I am brand new to the motorcycle community and I really want to get my hands dirty, and I want to document my process of how I'm doing it, what I've learned along the way, mostly for future Sarah, but also for anybody out there who is interested in motorcycles. For this video, since it's the first in this series, I want to go over what it is I bought, I think anyway, and talk about what I plan to do with it. Let's get into the good stuff. Hari is a 2002 Royal Enfield Classic 500. You may also know her as a Bullet 500, or built like a bullet. Out of factory, they claim to have a single-cylinder air-cooled engine that can produce 26.5 horsepower and 40 newton meters of torque. That is 6 horsepower and 13 newton meters of torque more than Rushmi, my 2023 Royal Enfield Classic 350. That also means that the general high speed has increased. The max I would likely go on Rushmi is 70 miles an hour, whereas I believe you can go about 80 on that. Not a maintained 80. You can go up to 80 and come down. Neither of these bikes are what I'd say high speed, fast bikes. They're more cruiser, they're more leisurely. You're gonna bop around on the back roads, have a good time out there. These are not gonna pass anybody, all right? They are torquey at low speed. They are not torquey mid-speed. But they are gorgeous, they are vintage looking, and honestly, I love riding my 350, and I'm interested to see what it's like to ride a 500. Additionally, from my understanding, this bike is carbureted. It has a 4-speed transmission. It should have a kickstart as well as possibly an electric start. And one big difference between Rushmi and the old 500 here is that is a cast iron engine. My goal in general is to work on riding and maintaining bikes that are built a little closer to the 70s, but I want to increase my knowledge in more of a stepped fashion. I currently understand general fuel injected engines in my career, but this bike has been a learning experience even just for me. And right now I'm learning how to ride a motorcycle, right? So I'm learning the different vehicle dynamics of this versus a car. I'm learning what it feels like to ride on a bike when your tire pressure is too high or too low. And I'm learning what it feels like when your chain is too loose, how sloppy, you know, the shifting feels like. I had no idea what any of that meant or really felt like when I started. So for me, buying a reliable, new, low maintenance bike was the great first step for me. I really just wanted to learn how to become a motorcyclist. And now that I have a general reasonable understanding, I want to learn a little bit about older technologies. So one thing that I'm really excited to learn about is, instead of fuel injection, this motorcycle has carbureted cylinders. So essentially that lets you manually control how much fuel is being put into the cylinder to ignite. Whereas this thing has a little engine computer that helps do it all on its own. She's a smart, intelligent girl all on her own. This one is tuned by my old noggin. That'll be interesting. But the other kind of nice thing about a newer vehicle is that this not only comes with a fuel gauge, but it also comes with things like ABS and disc brakes and things that I'm more confident with currently. Whereas this has, I believe, drum brakes, which I've heard pros and cons about. I'm interested to see what I think after I get to riding it. I'm hoping that this bike will teach me good lessons on carbureted bikes, kickstart bikes, and really just how it feels to ride on a 20-year-old bike, right? And what that means. Clean every 3,000 kilometers. Interesting. I currently don't need to stop at the side of the road for much for Rushmi. But I'm guessing that when you have a bike that's been sitting in storage for 2 years, hasn't been ran, tires flat, gas is old, everything's old, rubber everywhere is falling off of this thing.
So she's a bit of a fixer-upper.
I'm probably gonna have to get good at roadside service. I'm just interested to see how the lifestyle is different, because I've heard that a lot of older motorcyclists were their own mechanics, right? Like, a lot of bikes were designed to be repaired on the side of the road because they weren't built with a huge amount of quality. And honestly, that's some of the character, right? Like, understanding how your bike feels when it's riding really good means that you know what it feels like when it's not riding really good, and you know how to fix it and make it ride good again. That's my goal. I want to be her. I'm going to be so smart. I'm going to be so cool. It's going to be amazing. What do I want to do with Hattie immediately? First off, I got to get the dust off her. All right, I'm a bit of a clean person. I love things that shine and beautiful. So she also has some of the chrome painted on her, which is a choice. I can see why someone might want to do that. I'm closer to a magpie or a dragon than any other kind of animal, and I love things that are shiny. So I'm gonna take the paint off the chrome, shine it up, maybe replace some of the exhausts with maybe a little bit possibly louder. I don't know how loud she is yet, but I'm already thinking about the exhaust change. I'm also looking to learn how to drain all the fluids out, replace the fluids, replace any of the rubber that is deteriorating, maybe change the carburetor if it's not working to something that can give me just a little bit more power. Learn about different mods like that. I think that sounds super fun, attainable, not overwhelming. Something I could do, probably. We'll figure it out. I mean, after that, I really just want to ride her. But honestly, it's not going to be significantly different. It's the same bike, right? That's a Classic 350, that's a Classic 500. They're basically sisters. But I have heard that in general, the engine feels very different between these latest engine designs and the older style. So I'm interested to see how much more it vibrates, how much more or less control I feel like I have. If you are interested in this journey, you want to support me or see where this goes, see maybe all the mistakes I make and tell me how wrong I did it, I'd love to hear it in the comments below, but you should also hit that subscribe button. In the next video, I look forward to telling you about the journey of actually purchasing Hattie here, what it was like to look for a bike, what I was looking for, how talking to a stranger on Facebook Marketplace went, or didn't went. That also was part of the samosa to my mimosa's job. What we looked at during the inspection before we pulled the trigger, how we got it home, how did any of this get here today? You may not know, since I didn't know how to do this before I did it either, and I'd love to increase your confidence, let you know that you too can just go out, purchase old used bike, get it running, and get out on the road. Thanks for joining today. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Today's Wow, how did I immediately forget everything I just read? The general goal, oh, we got strangers. I'm not going to talk in front of strangers. How about instead I read what I'm gonna do? And that might work out better. How about that? Stop looking at me. I don't understand what they're doing. I'm gonna pretend they're not there. How about that? I will actually be confident. Look at it, these beautiful hands are too pretty. They need to get dirty. I don't know why I'm doing that with my hands. Put them down. And your AC just turned on, sir? That's quite rude.